Okay, so I just thought we just get into it, the situation a bit more, you know, on why you've accessed counselling. So just mind just just getting into it, if that's but just at your own pace, you know.
Well, when I first got this amputation thanks to the diabetes, at first I didn't think it was too big a deal. I mean, I knew at the start that it would likely affect my football career very heavily. Um, but when I went to watch one of the games to support my previous team, I was expecting, because I've been out for a while, I was expecting a big welcome and a lot of sympathy, and I didn't get any of that.
Okay.
They were always saying that I needed to take better care of myself, and even though I was taking the best care of myself that I could, we'll get more on that later, but it made me so frustrated, and now I just outright said to them, I'm not watching your games anymore if none of my friends are gonna give me the sympathy or encouragement or any of that support that I need.
So what were you kind of hoping? So obviously they are your friends, and were they saying that you need to take better care of yourself before or after the amputee had happened?
They said it was before the amputee had happened, and I did take that into account, because getting amputated in a weird kind of technicality, it wasn't exactly my fault.
Okay.
Because so I started, when I found out I had the diabetes, I took my the usual kind of medication, the tablets, because it didn't start off that severe. But then after that, it started to get worse and worse, and I kept telling my doctor that I needed to stop with the tablets and get a full-on insulin.
Okay.
And he never really took that into account and kept insisting that the pills are going to work out fine.
But they just didn't work.
And big shocker, no, they did absolutely nothing.
Okay. All right. So just going back to your friends, let's just put it all out on the table and just make sure that we'll just explain that part first, and then we'll move on to whatever else is happening, if you don't mind. Sorry.
Of course.
So just going off what you've said, they're not giving you sympathy and all that. What is the sorry, just give me 1 second. Was oh crap, I forgot. Just pause it for a second, right?
Yeah.
Just give it 10 seconds. So I can edit it easier. Crap. Okay, so yeah, just tell me a bit more. Your friends aren't really being very sympathetic about anything.
No.
Obviously, it is hard for them to really go through what you're going through, obviously, with the amputee, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not what friends are really for, about the whole aspect of not really caring and being more brutal with their responses than they should be. Obviously you're going through a lot already, but just from what you've told me already. So, just a question. So when you got that feedback from them, when they were being, a little bit nasty to you, what parts of your body actually started to lack? Was there any parts that started to actually hurt besides your, feelings and emotions?
Well, there was the stomach. It started to ache a lot, kind of like I'd just gotten kicked there.
Okay.
Or even in the chest, because that's where your heart is, and it was it's like the biggest kind of heartbreak you could feel, because I'd been so loyal to them, and they'd been so loyal to me in the past that I thought we were on such good terms, and then I asked them for the support with this, and they just simply do not give it to me.
So it's more like a tight sensation in your heart, like in your chest?
Essentially,
and
yeah.
like a twisted kind of stomach kind of. You're just not sure why this is happening because they have never been
as if someone pinched you really hard there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. And not cool, sorry. That's understanding. Obviously obviously that is like your friend group. You've obviously known them for a while.
Yeah.
Because you said you were like the captain of the football team or something.
Yeah, I
and,
was.
And they've played football with you for a long time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you said that it hurts, like your chest hurts and everything. Okay. So what I thought we might do, if that's okay with you, is I thought we'd just bring in this kind of exercise technique, kind of in gestalt therapy. It's called the empty chair technique. And so what happens is that it's you just grab as odd as it sounds, you just get a empty chair and you just talk to it like it's one of your mates or something. Or has there anything else been going on? Like how's home life?
It's not much better actually.
Do you want to just let me know what's going on there?
Well,
In your own time, sorry.
well, it's a bit sad, but since I got the amputation, well, not exactly since I got the amputation, but since I got the bad feedback and the bad criticism from people.
Okay.
In fact, this actually in part is kind of what drove my wife to suggest this. So I've gotten a bit progressively angry and a little bit depressed with how things have turned out, and I felt so let down that occasionally I've taken out this frustration on the wife and my two kids, and that's especially not right since Layla just took up a part-time job in helping with finances, so that means I have to take care of the kids every once in a while, and since our relationship currently isn't the best now because of that, it can get really awkward and I feel so bad, even though I did it of my own volition. It's like, have you ever had a time when you did something of your own volition and in your right mind, but deep down you knew it wasn't right and there was something that was kind of trying to stop you, but it was like a tiny voice that you just drown out?
Yeah, that's a common human characteristic. Obviously it's perfectly fine to make mistakes, and just you coming to this counselling session shows Layla, your wife, that you are willing to make the situation lighter and better for yourself, your family, and your future. With gestalt therapy, where it's all about not, we can't change the past, unfortunately. There's a lot of things that every single human on this earth might want to change in their past, but all we can do right now is how are we feeling right now. Like obviously we're coming off what we've done in the past, and into the future. No one's a bad person. We all make mistakes, unfortunately, but that makes us a better. Like we don't want to be like that. We want to be in the present moment and in the future, setting ourselves up for better things and greater things for everybody around us.
Yeah.
So your wife has suggested this because you've had a bit of trouble with your kids and overall, like just your whole kind of relationships after your amputee. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, there are so many factors, and there's no one to blame for any of this kind of stuff. Amputee is a big thing. It's having, a disability, a challenge that you have to face every single day is tiring and hard at some points in life. But who do you think, if you got to just have someone sit there and you could just talk to them about how you're feeling and everything, what would you reckon? Would that be your friends, or would that be Layla, or?
It would probably be Layla, because she has tried to talk on a few occasions, but every time she's tried, I've always been in my really toxic mood, or maybe had a couple too many drinks to cope with it, and I just haven't been able to listen. So I feel like it's only right that I give her that opportunity.
Okay, so sorry, just going back to the empty chair technique, I just wanted to make sure I heard everything and heard the whole situation and seeing really who would you like to talk to preferably. Obviously they're not talking back, it's just an empty chair, but it helps to sometimes it helps to imagine like that person, and just it can really get a lot off your chest. It's not all going to fix in one go, but it will kind of just kind of give you a little bit of a lift up and give you a bit of confidence when it comes to the point that you feel is right to talk to them. Obviously, coming off something as big as this first session isn't always the best time to say, oh, I think I'm very comfortable. It will take some time, you know. But, so what I thought I might do is I've just got a chair here, and just act like Layla's there in the chair, and just talk about I've made mistakes in the past, but you know, present and future me is looking to make this whole, you know, you've given me the opportunity to book an appointment and get, you know, try and not get my life back on track, but just to try and, you know, create an environment where you are like the priority, the family and yourself and Layla. But obviously do it in your own words, but don't focus too much on the past, think about the present you, because you're helping yourself right now, and you're setting yourself up for the future too. So whenever you're ready, mate, but just take your time, you know.
Okay.
It's perfectly normal to.
Hi, honey. I've finally taken your advice and gone through with it. It seems to be lifting a few weights off so far. To start off, I guess I should say that I guess I owe you an apology for all the things that I've done at home and for the anger I've taken out on the kids. And I never meant to hurt them. It was pretty much just an impulse at the time, and it felt like I couldn't really avoid it. And please know that I do appreciate and do love you for trying to help me, being probably the only one, you and the kids, being the only ones to actually show your sympathies and your support with this little predicament I'm in. And, well, I guess all I can say is that I hope I can try to get better in the future, and I hope that this session is good for me, and I guess what I just need is to just listen to you more and to just let go of what other people have said, because, well, if they're just gonna, because if my past team is just gonna act like that and not see the error of their ways, then, well, I can't really change that with violence or destructive thoughts